In this week's BlizzPro Weekly, Blizzard goes to court with botters, WCS Season 3 is ending soon and who is going to BlizzCon, Heroes of the Storm hits a trademark snag, you can help design a legendary in Diablo 3, is conceding unsportsmanlike in Hearthstone, and we have a survival guide for those attending BlizzCon 2013. Hey guys, welcome to the newest episode of BlizzPro Weekly. As always, I'm your fantastically bearded and really unshaven right now host, Chris Arnone. Let's get straight to it with some World of Warcraft talk.
Here's the beef.
So we at BlizzPro have been looking over the BlizzCon schedule for you, and tell you what, there's a panel, 1 p.m. on Saturday in the main hall, that a lot of people are going to be pretty excited about, alright? Blizzard is holding a Warcraft movie presentation with Chris Metzen and movie director Duncan Jones hosting that panel. Now, not much more was given in the description at this point, but it raised some questions. Are we maybe going to see the concept video that was shown at SDCC, but never made it to the internet for some strange reason? Right? It's crazy. Will we possibly get a cast list? A plot? A timeline? Maybe a little teaser trailer or something? You know, we're excited either way. And this panel has several people, a lot of people wanted to see it, but a lot of people were skeptical, saying it might not even happen. But it will definitely be a cannot miss and may be worth purchasing a virtual ticket all on its lonesome in case you're not attending. Now, one of the things we've always seen the community complain about in the past is how Blizzard just doesn't take care of bots in their games. So they let them just run rampant because it's a revenue generator for them. However, that's definitely not the case. Blizzard just finished up a 2-year legal battle with Ceiling Fan Software, the developer of Shadowbot and Pocket Gnome, and they are now facing a $7 million judgment and have been ordered to cease all operations. Now, this is not the first and probably not the last time Blizzard will work to legally shut down bots in their games. Back in 2010, Blizzard successfully shut down Glider, the famous automation bot software package using DMCA. So while the bots are annoying and you do see them pop up, Blizzard is working on removing them as much as possible. Sometimes it just takes a while, particularly when the legal system is involved. Enough World of Warcraft, let's talk about StarCraft II.
You want a piece of me, boy?
So the WCS Season 3 is wrapping up. South Korea and America have both now finished. Now in South Korea, Deer beat SOO 4-2 to take home the championship, and in WCS America, Polt wins back-to-back championships by defeating Buell 4-1. Now the Season 3 finals are this weekend, and depending on when we actually get this up, it may have already occurred. Last week we talked about players still on the bubble. As of this filming, the top 14 players are locked in, and only those last 2 are still up for grabs. So let's talk about those. As it stands right now, Swedish player Nanawa is the lone foreigner in the top 16, sitting at the number 15 spot. Now, South Korean Revival is currently in the number 16. Both players were eliminated fairly early in their premier leagues and are therefore barely holding on. Now, since they're out of competition, they need some other players to perform pretty poorly in order to hold on to those rankings. Now, both Deer and SOO, the finalists in the South Korea Season 3, are the 22 and 23 spots. So if they both manage to get top 4 finishes, they could leapfrog over Nanawa and Revival for those last 2 spots. South Korean playing in America bracket Oz could also advance if he finishes in the top 2. Now, Vortex, Buell, Hack, and Genius and Trap are all statistically still in it, but each of them would actually have to win the Season 3 finals in order to get one of those. Now, there are also some ways this last 16 spot could end up in a tie. Blizzard has announced that if that happens, those 2 players would still be invited to BlizzCon and will play in a best of 5. The winner will get seeded, while the loser gets probably the best consolation prize ever and gets to just, enjoy the rest of BlizzCon. So, pretty cool stuff going on in StarCraft II. We're very excited to see that all go down at BlizzCon ourselves. Let's talk about, new one, ready? Heroes of the Storm. So it's not even been a week since Heroes of the Storm was officially announced as the rebranding of Blizzard All-Stars, and a new controversy has arisen. It seems there is a finished tabletop RPG for children named, and yes, I'm pretty sure JR just put this story in here, so I would have to try and pronounce all these things, Merskin Sankarit, which translates into English from Finnish, as you guessed it, Heroes of the Storm. Now, the creator of Merskin Sankarit, I'm sorry to anyone who's Finnish, I have no idea what's going on here, Mike Pajola, has filed a dispute with Blizzard's trademark application in the EU, claiming that he's concerned about the two games coexisting peacefully. Now, we're no experts on trademark law, right? I took like a business law class in college. But it is possible for two businesses to exist with, or products to have the same trademark, so long as there's little chance of them being confused with one another. I mean, being, not too huge and in completely different realms. However, even though one is pen and paper and the other is computer, they are both still games. So there's definitely enough of an overlap there to give some merit to this dispute. Now, we'll see how this all turns out in Finland and the rest of the EU in the months to come. It seems like Blizzard just can't catch a break with trying to name their MOBA. First, they changed it due to a legal dispute with Valve. Now, a Finnish pen and paper game. It's just all kinds of trouble for them. All right, enough of that. How about some Diablo 3?
Stay a while and listen.
Now, last week, the Diablo team announced that the community would be involved in designing a legendary. Basically, the community will get to see the start of what it takes to make a legendary item, the stats for it, and the iteration process involved, making sure the item works as well. And best of all, the item the community collectively makes will be available in Reaper of Souls. Now, this week, they started the first part of the process. The legendary item will be a weapon. We know that. What kind of weapon? Well, currently, they have a poll, so you can go and choose. Now, there's a lot of options here. You can be a one- or two-handed axe, a dagger, a one- or two-handed mace, a polearm, a spear, a staff, or a one- or two-handed sword. Now, the poll for this ends October 30th, so get on over there quickly and start picking out which one you want. By the way, you want to pick a spear. Seriously, JR says so. That's, he put it in the script. Obviously, that's what we're all supposed to pick. Now, some of you may remember the Mystic. She was originally supposed to be in Diablo 3 when it released, but was then cut. Well, she's back and will be in the Reaper of Souls. Mystic will allow you to enchant items as well as transmogrify them, something many WoW players will recognize very quickly. Now, transmogrification basically means that if you have an item and you really want the look but not the stats of, because there's another item that has, better stats, but you like this one's look, you can get the better item stats and have it look aesthetically like the one you like. This gives you a lot of options to customize the look of your character a little bit more instead of having to just, go with whatever gear you're wearing, because obviously stats are king. Now, the Mystic will also allow you to enchant your gear. You'll go and talk to the Mystic, which will bring up the enchantment. From there, you'll place an item in the enchanting window and have a list of properties you can possibly obtain and select the property you want. However, the resulting property you receive will be random, so it's possible the new properties you've provided will end up being less desirable than the ones you're replacing. The Mystic will also offer the previous property in the list of options when using enchanting, so you always have the possibility of keeping the old one. Now, keep in mind when you choose which property you want to reroll, you will only be able to reroll that property from then on out. Also, once you enchant an item, it will be bound to your account and can no longer be traded to other players. So still, cool new feature coming in Reaper of Souls. All right, enough Diablo 3. Let's get all card happy and talk about Hearthstone.
Pull up a chair by the heart.
So JR put up an article this week on BlizzPro that it caused quite a bit of a stir in the community, had a lot of responses on Twitter and in the comments. The topic in question was whether or not conceding in Hearthstone is considered unsportsmanlike. Now, he noticed several people may have been calling it that because they like to get that killing blow on their opponent. But JR argues, having played some 20 years of Magic the Gathering, and in some competitive fashion, that conceding is normal behavior. And a lot of times it's preferred over drawing out a match you already know you're going to lose. Personally, from my own experiences, I used to play Magic the Gathering, HeroClix, the Versus system. It is pretty common, especially there are certain deck types that tend to draw out matches more. They tend to lock their opponents down and slowly bleed them to death. Especially when you're talking about, at least in the physical game, you have rounds. So, you don't want everybody to be held up by one match. Now, while you may not have this here, it's really no fun for your opponent if you have that kind of match that's going to take a long time, but you've won. So, really, a good GG, it's very common in StarCraft II, kind of for the same reason as all StarCraft II matches. If you actually want to get it to the very end, it takes a fuckload lot longer than once the guy realizes that's it, I can't win, GG. So that's really all it is. It's, okay, you won, it's no fun for me anymore, let's move on and play another game. Nothing unsportsmanlike about it. However, we do want to know, what do you think? Do you think conceding is unsportsmanlike? Is it just part of the game? Why or why not? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to see what you have to say. Recently, MLG has partnered up with Mana Grind in the competitive scene of Hearthstone to make an MLG ladder. Now, Mana Grind has been hosting closed beta tournaments every weekend in Hearthstone, so it has a natural progression for MLG to partner with them. Now, this weekend, once again, depending on, when you're seeing this video, they are hosting their first MLG Hearthstone tournament. The tournament will be a 128-player bracket with single elimination, best of 3 matches. The rules are, if you win with a deck in your first match, you are allowed to change cards in that deck, but you must play the same hero. The loser can choose to play a different hero and therefore a different deck. The winner of the best of 3 advances to the next round, and so on, so forth, until a champion will be crowned. This is one of the first really major tournaments we have seen in Hearthstone, especially, it's still in closed beta. So there's expected to be some pretty big names, but there are some BlizzPro ties here or there. JR and Robert, our managing editor for the Hearthstone site, have entered the contest and have a goal to try and at least hit the round of 16. So if you're seeing this video before Saturday, be sure to head over there and cheer them on. All right, now it's time for the BlizzPro bitch session. Now, once again this week, it's not so much a bitch session as a BlizzCon session. What can I say? We're just excited, all right? So this week, we want to put together a little survival guide for those that are attending the con, even if you only have the virtual ticket. All right, stay hydrated. Drink lots of water. It's very important, okay? Wear comfortable shoes, like these. There's green, so they're probably half invisible, but that's fine. Bring a bag. You put water in it, you put snacks in it, all the swag. There's a lot of stuff there. Bring a dog. Okay. Okay, don't really bring your dog. It'd probably be kind of weird and they'd probably be kicked out. It's probably not allowed anyway, but isn't he cute? Bring an extra cell phone battery, an extra charger, all those kinds of things, all right? Reception at conventions is notoriously horrifying, and therefore, your cell phone will be sucking away its charge just trying to get a signal all day long. Use hand sanitizer and wash your hands a lot, all right? You don't want to take home the BlizzCon plague. Consider buying a virtual ticket. Yeah, it's $40 more after you just attended an event, but it ensures you will get to see everything that you missed. Don't be that guy. Now, we talked about this on a previous BlizzPro Weekly, but there are a lot of cosplayers at this event, and you might want to get a picture of them, with them, or just talk to them. Always get permission before taking a photo. Don't touch anything or anyone without asking first. Wheaton's Law. And some good things you will want to do at the show to ensure you have a good time. Bring your ID and that barcode you get in the email that you need to print out. You should have your barcode in your email, as we said. Print it out, bring it with you. This will make getting your badge a lot easier. If you don't have either one of these, then you're standing in line to pick up your badge. You're just not going to have a good time. Bring your badge on Thursday. You might want to hop in line early Thursday afternoon. Badge pickup starts at 4 p.m., but some people will wait in line as early as that morning. The sooner you can get your badge, the quicker it is to go to your Thursday night parties. If you want to pick up your badge Thursday instead of Friday, then you get to see that opening ceremony. Now, if you wait to pick it up on Friday, you could miss the opening ceremony just standing in line trying to get your badge. Go to the parties. Thursday night, starting at 5 p.m. at the Annabelle Hotel, is the WoW Insider WoW Head Party. Now, some of the BlizzPro crew will be there as VIPs, so come say hi. At 8 p.m. at the Red Lion Hotel is the World of Podcasts, where all the members of our own Twizcast will be in various panels. Now, we'll be there as well to support our crews, so come to say hi to us. Saturday night, there's always a big party in the Hilton lobby where you can rub elbows with several Blizzard folks. Now, transportation. For cheap transport from SNA, if you're flying into John Wayne SNA, don't take a cab or go through Super Shuttle. Instead, use the Carmel Shuttle service and mention code BlizzCon13. It'll cost you about $10. Eats. Eat at In-N-Out. If you're not from an area with In-N-Out, get a cab, go to one. You can thank us later. Last but not least, a survival guide for those of you with virtual ticket at home. Wake up, don't put on pants, order pizza, Put on pants before you open the door for the delivery guy. It's just common courtesy. And enjoy the fact that you will not get the BlizzCon plague of 2013. Well, so that about does it. Now, if you want to meet the Blizz Pro crew at BlizzCon, we'll have about 15 or so folks attending. Now, some of us planned at being at the WoW Insider Wowhead Party, be at the World of Podcast, have a small meetup at the Meeting Stone at 2:30 p.m. Saturday, shortly after the WoW movie panel. In fact, we might have swag from that. You never know. But we hope you'll see you there. And of course, we're going to have, like I said, Blizz Pro, t-shirts on. We'll be wandering around all over the place. I'm sure I'll be with Paul, giant camera thing, big, fantastic beard. You can't miss me. I'm the prettiest guy at the show. All right? So that does it for our BlizzCon session and this episode of Blizz Pro Weekly. Of course, we want you to please subscribe, comment on our videos, subscribe and listen to Twizcast. I'm all over the internet, Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, Goodreads author, all over the place. And of course, go to blizzpro.com. All the news, reviews, fantastic community, everything you need to know about Blizzard Entertainment games. Stay beardy, my friends.